Welcome to Connections. I'm your host, April Healy. I'm sitting with my good friend, Zach Aten. He's my good friend, and he's a third-year staff member. Welcome, Zach. Hi.
Hi.
Welcome. Thanks for being here and coming.
Thanks for having me.
So today I'd love to talk to you about, I know you went through a hard season a couple years ago with your divorce, and you walked through that just so beautifully. And I'd love to hear like your process, how you walked through it, how you got through it, and just how you feel like such a transformed man on the other side of it.
Yeah. Basically it's kind of like being in a real bad car accident. I'm not sure if somebody gave me this metaphor or if I just thought about it this way, but when you get in a car accident, you go to the hospital and you stay there for a few days, and then you go to physical therapy, and then you go home. And there's a recovery process to like get your body back to 100%.
Yeah.
And in that season, I just kind of took the perspective of I just need some structure in my life in order to get through this and to get healed up.
Yeah.
And so for me, what that looked like was I just had a real value of I need to be around people that I care about and that care about me, because all I want to do right now is be by myself. Going to the hospital, if we use this metaphor, would be, I'm just going to try to spend as much time as I can with my friends and people in my life that are there to help me like through this time, and who love me and who care about me and know who I am and that I'm still that person.
Yeah.
And who can like speak that truth over me. It also looked like having counseling sessions. And I just went ahead and scheduled them out like a month or so at a time. Okay. Just so that I wouldn't have to like make a decision. It was like I already made a decision to put this structure in my life so that I could get the input and the healing that I needed to like be better.
Yeah. So when you scheduled them out a month at a time, was it every single week for a month?
I think it was every 2 weeks.
Okay.
It was like every 2 weeks for like maybe 3 months, and then it went to once monthly until probably about a year out, and then now I'm kind of like on a 6 month, every 6 months, because I love counseling. It's actually really good, and I think everybody should do it, not just when you're having a crisis in your life.
Yeah, regularly.
Yeah.
Yeah. It does help us like stay centered.
Yeah, and we can always get better at communicating and interacting with people, and better and learning about ourselves and how we think and our mind and emotions and our body.
Yeah, that's true. So I also know that you carry this value for community and family, like I've never seen actually. And you do that so well. Like you stay super connected to close friends, to your immediate family, to your Bethel family. And so can you tell me like what your value system is there and how you feed that, like how you do it well?
Mm-hmm. I think at the core of it, it's just intentionality. I've always liked being around people and liked being, like friendships and family, just like everybody else. But especially like going through the divorce, it was every day you have to make a choice to like come out of your house and engage, right?
Yeah.
And for me, it was this is something I want, which is community, which is family. Mm-hmm. In that moment of like, really experiencing a lot of brokenness, it was this, thing in my heart from the Lord of like, this is what we're made for. This is what we're born to do. Like, this is the culture that we're creating, at Bethel, and I'm sold into this. I'm bought into this, and it's almost like you have to take responsibility for making your own community. And I just was like, I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna reach out. I'm just gonna make it.
Yeah.
And you know, I really love the community that I have, and you know, it's a take responsibility for your own. If you don't have somewhere that's just easy to go to or be a part of, or people around you that are constantly doing stuff, if you want that, you just have to make a conscious decision that it's going to start with you. And
yeah,
so
that's really good.
That's what I do. I mean, it's become a part of my life where it's like, I just, you know, I think about how do I organize time with friends and family and make space for that,
Mm-hmm.
and how do we intentionally build community, like just personally, and then, you know, that kind of affects everything else in your life as far as what you're building in your wider community and what you do at work and what you do at church. And
so what does that look like practically? You're texting one person a day, or you're texting, I mean, what does it look like?
Okay, so I'm also kind of I really like quality time with people. So I don't have a ton of friends,
Okay.
real close friends. So it's normally like finding people who want to engage with you, and then you engage with them.
Okay.
And
That's great.
you know, sometimes in the stage of life I'm in, lots of my friends have families or, you know, work late or something like that. So you have to come up with like fun ways to hang out with people. So maybe that's like, hey, I'm going to bring pizza tonight, and you know, that's how I hang out with my friends.
Okay.
It's you have to be. It's not like we all need to like get dressed up and go somewhere, and
Sure.
that's fun.
Yeah.
But it's just about being with people, and you know, maybe that's just my personality. I don't know. Like I don't have to be doing anything special to like have a good time with my friends. It's just
You're just being with them.
QT,
Yeah.
junkie, quality time.
Junkie. That's awesome. So tell me how, when a high emotion came up when you went through your divorce, because we know you said it was hard to even come out of your house some days. So when a high emotion came up, what did you do when you connected with the Lord? Like, how did you do that? What did that look like to get through the high emotion into like a place of peace on the other side of it?
Yeah. Basically, it was be purposeful to engage with the emotion with Jesus. As long as it's not like leading you into, you know, just like overwhelming sadness or something like that. Like if I had an emotion, and I might have gotten this from Justin, I might have gotten this from Sozo, I'm not sure, but I just made it a point that it's not going to be good for me to just push this stuff down and ignore it. So I just, when I would feel something, I would stop what I was doing and just kind of do like a mini Sozo, you know, like, Lord, where are you in this? And Lord, what do you feel about this? Like, this is what I'm feeling. And I would just process that with God. And sometimes it's not like, you know, I got this great revelation about something. It was more of just, you know, just having that like feeling and knowing that like God's with you.
Yeah, that's really good.
I don't need any, I mean, sometimes you need to understand, but sometimes you just need somebody to be with you, and God's with us all the time.
Yeah.
And he knows us better than we do. So
yeah, that's really good.
For me, it was a matter of don't ignore the emotions. Just stop, engage with them, and then once you feel like you've engaged with it, then move on. Don't sit in it all day or all week or something like that. Now, you know, if you're still having problems, then that's where, you know, you bring in community and you bring in other people. But that's that's a habit that I do now. You know, it doesn't have to be just bad stuff. It could be really good stuff or things that you hear from the Lord. I mean, it's more of just this processing it with the Lord.
Yeah, that's so good. Yeah, I remember you saying through that you would just stop for 5 minutes in the middle of your workday, connect with Jesus, have your high emotion, and come out of it with a perspective that he gave you, or a piece of peace that you could walk out of.
And that's normally what would happen, yeah.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, Zach, thanks so much for joining us. I love having you. I love hearing all your
Thank you.
perspective on your growth process and your transformation. And you're amazing. I just love having you. And you guys, thanks so much for joining us. We loved having you, and we'd love to have you back next time.